What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below, as usual. This video is entitled Anger, Stereotypes versus Situations. I said in the previous video I did maybe a day or two ago that I was watching like parental alienation videos. And in one of them, the guy was like, people have this issue with anger where you stereotype a person as being angry, or when it can be a situational thing. Like his example was, a man may be angry at a moment. He might be going off. And you look at him at that particular point as an angry man. But the situation is he just got his car stolen. So, but for you just put him in that box as a angry person, right? And I thought about that, and I've been mulling that for a minute, just since that happened, since I saw that. And I talk about stuff like that even a little bit in my book or whatever. Like, people look at people differently when they have situations, and the stereotypes of anger are a problem. But at the same time, so are the situations themselves. Like, see, when a person is angry, that's a normal human emotion. But what happens is, when we talk about the stereotype part of it, people are projecting who they want somebody to be on the in the way somebody should be angry by their picture of who deserves to be angry and whose anger is viewed as threatening or non-threatening. And I was thinking about that because I saw a little clip with KG, with Kevin Garnett, for y'all don't know who haven't watched basketball. They were talking about Michael Jordan, his little panel at Area 21 or whatever. And he stood up and he started going off about, are y'all serious right now, acting like LeBron is better than Jordan? And he laid it down. And then as he's stating his facts, and he's aggressive with it because it was some bull. He was letting him slide. At the end of it, one of the ladies was like, but you're so... yeah, you ain't got to be so aggressive. And KG was like, I'm just stating the facts. See, but they couldn't dispute he was stating the facts. So, but when people are angry and viewed as angry, he even fits the angry black man, the big, angry, aggressive, intimidating black man stereotype on his own platform. When people are on it and he's addressing what they said. So that was the crazy thing about it for me. It's like, he let y'all get away with the bull y'all was saying. Then he went off about his thing. He like, yo, no. And you're scaring me, right? Part of this culture that we have with police brutality, misconduct comes from, I'm in fear for my life thing comes from the angry stereotype. What black men are bigger and more aggressive and stronger. He looked like the Hulk Hogan. This 12-year-old looked like a 20-year-old. It comes from people's cognitive dissonance because they attribute, for me, if I go off, my anger goes to, I'm an angry black man, so I will physically kill you. Now you take that and I'm angry just by nature, right? So the only way to calm the situation down is maybe through death. Now, you flip that and you see on the opposite end of the racial spectrum, because it's a stereotype, white guys are angry all the time and they're passionate, or they're misguided, or they're lone wolves, or they're emotional, and you have that vacillation between both with other races in between, Hispanic, Asian, stuff like that. Hispanic man are looked at as macho, and macho has an angry tone to it, but that's okay. That's acceptable, right? Same, Arabs, Asians. Asians are looked at as more docile. So as a stereotype. So when they're angry, it's something had to set off the Asian guy. He couldn't just be angry. You get what I mean? So it's a stereotype that, these people can be angry and these people can't be angry. This is anger, and this is when this person's angry. you probably should kill them. When this person angry, they're just speaking their mind, and they're champions for a cause. So we have to respect it and take what they say into consideration. You've done something to make them angry, more so. Now, on the flip side of that same thing, you have a situation where people know this, so they take advantage of the stereotypes in the situations that they're in. I remember these videos of people who start arguments with people. There's one on a soccer field. I remember the guy was talking to another player and the coach, and then the player was like, "Get out of here!" And the guy, and he fell on the ground. He started, and everybody laughed who was filming it, like, this actor right here, and same thing with situational. You tried to take advantage of a situation by a stereotype of an aggressive athlete coming in your presence. And that was a soccer game, so that cracked me up. What bothers me about this is, like I said, the cognitive dissonance of it, because you're dealing with people who are playing on the ideology that in this situation I could use this stereotype to my advantage to get over. And when I was thinking about the initial thing with the parental alienation, mostly men know what I'm talking about when you can't discipline your child, because if you do, if your child does something that requires discipline in the situation and you discipline them, all of a sudden now you're in court for being abusive. Because as a man, you disciplining your child, you can go under the angry stereotype as an abuser instead of just a parent correcting a child. You get what I'm saying? And so that situation, which is normal to other people, it's normal for a mother to discipline the child or correct their child for doing something wrong. And it's a situation where that's not how they will always parent, but in this circumstance, they had to check their child. But if you do it, he's an angry, abusive dad. That's how he's always been. He was like that when the baby was an infant in the crib. How dare you cry, Junior? Bow, something like that. And that translates to other situations. I was watching a video. It bothered me. Just part of the reason I made this. A homeless guy was sitting in McDonald's. Another guy bought him lunch. So he walked the guy into McDonald's and brought him lunch. And when he brought him the lunch, the people who worked in McDonald's and some of the other customers called the police because they were offended that the homeless guy was in there eating. Right? So the cops come, and the guy who bought him the lunch is filming him like, yo, he started going off on the cops like, look, I asked him to come here because I saw him across the street, and I figured, he was hungry, so I'm gonna buy him lunch. He didn't come here on his own. I did this, so because I brought a man lunch because I'm being nice to my fellow man. You come in here and y'all call the police on this man, so he can't eat because y'all don't like him because he's homeless. And all of a sudden, the cop was like, she didn't go off wholehearted, but she's like, I'm the law in this situation. And then the manager comes out and is like, look, you don't need to speak like that. But the problem with that was he has a right to be angry in that situation. You don't have the right to create a situation where you disrespect another person's humanity and then hide behind either the law or your establishment when you did something totally foul. And people do that because, the thing about it is the guy was on camera. The cop was on camera. So now people are looking at it like, you want to have etiquette now. You get what I'm saying? Now you want to have etiquette. What you did was so egregious, and it angers people in a situation, and now people shouldn't be angry because of your position. And that's unacceptable. And that's the same thing I talk with the stereotypes and situations, because homeless man, he too broke to have self-respect and stand up for himself. And a man who's the nice guy in the situation, he's too nice to stand up for himself in that situation because he's supposed to just stand down because. No, And that's the thing about passive aggressive people. And I talked about like people being passive aggressive and microaggressions in other videos where, you know, people who are passive aggressive and do microaggressions, they feel like, you know, if they can manipulate a situation, because I can manipulate a situation and make you angry, right? And then you go angry, and then I play victim, you know? And that's what happens when people manipulate and lie. But the problem with that is, if you get good, or you consider yourself good at those type of situations, people are going to see the pattern. People are going to see, like, people see the red flags when you are passive aggressive and you show microaggressions, because that is your way. You think that actually works, so you continuously do it. So people might not figure it out at first, but over time they figure it out. This is the same thing they was talking about with the people with parental alienation. It was like, you know, at some point, you know, people are going to figure out, put two and two together, that you're not a victim, you're an instigator. You dig? So, and you create, and that's when it's situational anger. Like the guy was talking about, the guy will be mad because he got his car stolen. It's absolutely right, you know. And in a situation like that, a person will be mad they got their car stolen, and a person come up, chill out, you know, you got insurance. That ain't the point. That's not the point. Nobody likes to be violated like that. Like, you know, you wouldn't want to tell, like, and because I'm gonna say it this way, because all these marches going on right now. See, you don't want to tell a woman who's been raped, you've been raped, chill out. That ain't, you know, it's cool. He going to jail. She's like, what? I got raped. F you. You know, that's out of pocket, right? You wouldn't tell a person, but you'd tell a person, you got killed by the police. Chill out. You know, maybe he deserves it. I mean, okay. But if it's your family member and somebody says, chill out, maybe he deserves it. What is wrong with you? That is unacceptable behavior, you know. Now kids getting shot at school. Oh, we need to stop guns. You see, you can't tell somebody to squash their anger in a situation, and then when you're in a similar situation, all of a sudden, you know, it's the most important thing in the world, and it's unacceptable behavior for a person to tell you to not to let it slide. So, you know, sometimes you have to separate whether a person's an angry individual, or you just gave them an angry stereotype, or if they're angry in a situation, or somebody's trying to manipulate a situation by making a person angry. You get what I'm saying? That, you know, kind of like, before I go, you know, when somebody tries to tell you, I know you mad. I know you mad. I know that makes you mad. I know that makes you mad. You getting mad, huh? You getting mad, huh? And initially the person isn't mad, and then the person starts to get mad. Like, if you don't, will you stop saying that? You aggravate, because that person gets aggravating by repeating something, a lie that's not true. And then when they get the from around me. I told you was mad. No, but you didn't say that you was aggravating the person continuously. That if somebody aggravated you continuously, you would begin to get mad. So you knew what you were doing. You did. So yeah, that's pretty much it on this one. I'm gonna go to the gym. Y'all have a good one.